Hello, this is Jess. Good to see you. This is chat session number 72. It's Thursday, January 11th, 2018. Going right into the tidbits of history. 1908, U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt declares the massive Grand Canyon in northwestern Arizona a national monument. He visited this place before he became president. I guess McKinley was assassinated, and Theodore Roosevelt became president in 1901, and he made his presidency about preserving all the different areas of our country that are naturally beautiful, and he didn't want them to be developed with private enterprise, that kind of stuff. So his whole presidency was based on, that was one of his main things about preserving the natural beauty of areas of the United States. So he declared the monument national monument. It wasn't until, I believe, 1919 that another president, I think it was Wilson, made the National Act, the Grand Canyon National Park Act or whatever, that made it permanent. And they're saying now that millions of people go there every year for all the different things, and it's maintained and not developed. So that's a good thing. And that's 1908 tidbits of history. In 1927, Charlie Chaplin's $16 million estate is frozen. His $16 million estate is frozen by court receivers after his second wife, Leta Gray Chaplin, sues for divorce. The bitter and prolonged divorce ended a 3-year marriage with a $1 million settlement. And back then, that was quite a bit of money. Chaplin, I believe, married teenagers, he different times throughout his life. He made his money. His father died when he was a toddler. His mom had a nervous breakdown, and him and his brother in the streets of London went out and performed different things and held their hats out for money to survive. And eventually he got into the whole shtick with the mustache and the monocle and the cane and the feet that were pushed outward, and it worked for him all the way. He lived till 1975, and I believe in 1973 he was knighted, and of course 2 years later he passed away. But he did so much for film over his lifetime. He was a critic of sound when it was introduced, because his first movies were most all silent, and then his first sound movie just had music. There was actually no talking, but he was totally into theater, contributed much to enhance it and to improve it along the way. And he was actually accused of communism I guess, I'm not exactly when, but him and his wife, they went on a tour outside of the country, and then they weren't allowed back in, and he ended up living in Switzerland for quite a long time, and he came back to the United States 20 years later to receive a bunch of awards from the entertainment industry. So yeah, he like I said, this whole thing with the divorce at that time, that was a lot of money, and he had managed to do that through his love and devotion for the art of filmmaking and directing and the whole thing. So that's all the tidbits of history for today, 1927 and 1908. And now I'm going to go on to other stuff. my knee incision is almost, it looks like it's trying to heal up and close now. Of course, it had opened up after the stitches were removed because the skin was pulled so tight around the area, and it was on the area where my knee is, and blah blah blah, all the different stuff. But it looks like I'm able to walk around a lot better now, getting around pretty well. I'm still having the bending issue because of where the incision is, but I've worked 12 hours last night. I work overnight. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Right now I got home at a little before 6, and getting ready to go hit the rack and sleep and get up and do it all again tonight. It's my first full week back at work, so that's a good thing. So I'm getting back into the swing of making these chat sessions in the morning again, so that I can sleep and not have to rush and get up before I go to work, because if I do wait till then I wouldn't be able to get it done in the day. So this is how it's going to be. Like I said, I'm a little bit airheadish. Like I said, I've been up since 4 yesterday or whatever, so long time. Like I said, I worked 12-hour shift. But anyway, it's rainy outside a little bit. Supposed to cool down tonight through tomorrow. We'll be in the 20s again, going into the weekend, which is fine. I like the cold, but I work in a factory, and it's really cold at night, which is fine. Just dress warmly. I have a lot of drive this in 2018 so far to organize some things and to take some risks when it comes to possibilities of better employment, that kind of thing. I'm starting to actively want to apply myself, and the beginning of all that is through these chat sessions that I'm doing. The video and the whole, the whole thing. I don't have a lot of equipment. I'm using my phone, but I'd like to move forward with this, and this is just the experience that I'm gaining by doing these chat sessions every day. I like doing it. I think it's fun, and I think it'll help me when I push to the next step. Like I said, one day soon maybe I would like to do a talk show kind of thing, have guests, that kind of stuff. That's down the road some, but this is the beginning of it right here. So if you happen to be seeing this and pay attention as the next months and possibly years roll by, I can be moving into larger media orientated kind of projects. So I'm excited about a lot of this stuff, and looking at I've totally just not been talking about politics. I don't want to be negative. I want to try to be more positive about things, and unfortunately politics, the way it's pushed and perceived, is negative. So I'm trying to steer away from that. I'm very knowledgeable of politics and what's going on. There's different things going on, but this is where we are anyway. I'm going to end this chat session. I'd like to say hello to my parents, hello Mom and Dad, hanging in there. Hope everything's going well for y'all. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other. We got great football coming up this week. This is the games where it's going to lead to the NFC and AFC championships coming up after this. A lot of teams really surprisingly are in, and that's what makes it exciting. Some of the underdog teams, different things that are what's going on with that. But we're going to call it a day. I'm tired, going to go to sleep. Have a great Thursday morning. Bye.